Let's dive into the lifespan human development of Thomas Rhett and how he became the man he is today. Thomas Rhett is the son of Rhett Akins, a famous country singer and songwriter. And certainly, as one can imagine, growing up with a celebrity father definitely has effects on the way you develop. The International Journal of Social Sciences did an exploratory study on the children of famous parents. The study looked at 15 children of parents that had the title of a celebrity. Every child was interviewed and asked multiple questions. Following the questionnaire, all the participants expressed being the child of a celebrity brought with it attached expectations and pressure to live up to the parents and their public image. The article also mentions that all the offspring of famous parents reported individuality and identity issues because most children were identified from their lineage almost every time, many claiming that everyone sees them as their celebrity parent and not as themselves. Certainly, Thomas Rhett fought to keep his own identity and expressed in multiple interviews he originally had no desire to follow in his father's footsteps because he wanted to be his own person. Even though he admitted he thought it was cool and enjoyed going on tour with his father as a young boy. However, his mother, on the other hand, did not think it was cool and did not enjoy them being away on tour all the time, and it initially led to the divorce of his parents. A study conducted by the Marriage Foundation showed that the fact of being a celebrity alone itself made divorce twice as likely than an ordinary individual, and that being a celebrity greatly impacted not only quality but quantity of family time. After the divorce, Thomas Rhett's mother made him promise he would not become a singer like his father, despite the research showing that forcing children to choose sides is one of the worst things you can do in a divorce. However, in spite to keep his mother happy and try to stay out of the light with his father, Thomas Rhett went to college to pursue alternate careers, but dropped out of 3 different majors before breaking the news to his mother that he was going to start a cover band instead. It's no shock that Thomas Rhett ultimately chose the singer-songwriter path alongside his father after deciding the college life was just not for him. Tom Nesbitt wrote an article, What's the Matter with Social Class?, where he highlights how your social class shapes the life we live and the educational approaches we develop. Having a famous father and a chance to follow in his footsteps definitely shaped Thomas Rhett's educational approach, admitting he would have tried harder to stay in school if he didn't have this career to fall back on. So carrying on his father's name in the same business is what seemed fitting. In another article that examined the impacts of parenting and career development, the results showed that parents had a consistent and pervasive influence on their children's career choices, decisions, and plans. Considering the social network Rhett's father already established, it surely wasn't hard to make a name for himself. And despite wanting to be his own person and make his own name, he admits his father had a huge influence on the development of his career. In an article that interviewed the children of celebrities, every child agreed that they had an easy insertion to the already established field, many also admitting that they got an easy, almost ready stage to showcase their talents on because of their parents' fame. This was most certainly the case for Thomas Rhett, who was not short of any opportunities. The first time his cover band performed, he had a publisher because the guy already knew him through his father. And his second performance was being the opening act for Frankie Ballard because his dad made a few calls. The way he so easily got in backs up Ben Castleman's article, The Rich Stay Rich and the Poor Stay Poor. In his article, he refers to the stats of opportunities children of wealthier families get compared to the very few minimal opportunities children from low-income families get. He also compares their children's salaries to their parents' salaries, indicating how they almost identically mimic each other. Peter Steinglass also writes how important social networks are in your life. In his studies, the results showed having social networks provide stress buffers that allow individuals to adjust better. The social class and the social networks Rhett's family already acquired are what ultimately led to his success. Without his father's connections, he wouldn't have so easily made it to where he is now. But with fame also comes some concerns. In a research study conducted on being a celebrity, 15 individuals who attained a celebrity status were interviewed, and their general consensus about the most challenging part of being a celebrity was the love-hate relationship with their career, the addiction to the fame, isolation, and the top one was mistrust. Each celebrity had similar views, often questioning why people become friendly with them and always questioning their true intentions of others. Conveniently, on Thomas Rhett's road to fame, his now wife Lauren decided he was worthy enough for her love. Thomas and Lauren have been friends since the kindergarten, and Thomas says as long as he's known Lauren, he's had a crush on her. However, the feelings were not always mutual. Lauren gave Thomas a chance once before in high school, but admits it was awkward and she insisted the two were better off as friends. However, maybe their long-standing friendship is what actually makes their marriage a good fit and satisfying. John Gottman says that being friends is what makes a marriage better. Gottman has been studying married couples' lives since the early 1970s. He uses many methods to analyze what makes marriages work, and according to him, Thomas and Lauren have a key component. In another article looking at marital satisfaction, they suggest that couples who met in school are less likely to divorce than couples who met in another setting. And while some may speculate Lauren's choice to finally be with Thomas may be suspicious, it's not uncommon for people to change their minds and interests as they develop and grow. In the European Journal of Personality, they conducted a study to see how stable your personality was throughout your life, indicating that individuals do in fact change over time, including changes in their interests, hobbies, and behaviors due to both their genetic and environmental influence they faced throughout their life. So, Lauren's vows to Thomas could in fact be completely innocent and very heartfelt. Plus, according to the research on celebrity divorce rates, the two don't fall under the top causes of divorce in celebrities, such as large age gaps and cultural differences. So let's hope, for their sake, they continue to have a successful and happy marriage. But as many know, even the best marriages face challenges. One of the most difficult challenges Thomas and Lauren faced together were infertility problems. However, to be classified as infertile, it just means that you've been trying for 12 months or more to conceive with having regular unprotected sex. And while 1 in 8 couples have trouble getting and staying pregnant, only 10 to 15% of couples are actually infertile in the United States. Couples often question, is it the husband or the wife's fault? But men and women are affected by infertility almost equally. It's important for couples to remember that their lifestyle choices affect fertility drastically. Couples should limit their alcohol, no more than 2 drinks for men and 1 for women. Too much alcohol can impair their fertility. They should also be practicing safe sex because chlamydia and other STIs can cause infertility. And maintaining a healthy weight is also a key to their fertility. Being overweight or underweight can be harmful. And the biggest thing is to quit smoking. Smoking decreases fertility for men and women, and 13% of infertility in women is attributed to cigarette smoking. An estimated 7.3 million couples are unable to conceive or carry a pregnancy to full term and seek help or infertility issues each year. After dealing with their infertility problems, Thomas and Lauren took a vacation to volunteer with orphan children in a different country. While volunteering, they fell in love with an orphan, and considering their recent infertility problems, they felt it was meant to be, and they started their journey in adopting a child from another country. Thomas and his wife welcomed their first daughter, Willa Gray, into their family after their travels to Uganda. Adoptive parenthood, like other types of parenthood, can bring tremendous joy and a sizable amount of stress. And adoption from another country brings with it even more unique challenges than an in-state adoption could. Specifically, costs are related to generally higher expenses and a greater likelihood of developmental and other health risks among the children who are adopted internationally. Thomas Rhett in an interview said, "I don't think anyone can fully prepare you for the journey of adopting someone, especially from a third world country where there are so many different laws." He says every day you wake up with a whole new set of challenges that you never even heard of. The Child Welfare Organization shows that even though most adoptive children settle into their new families, and research shows that the great majority of adoptive parents are satisfied with their decision to adopt, The post-adoption period can present its own difficulties for parents. In some cases, adoption-related concerns arise long after the adoption has been finalized, and parents may be unprepared for the issues that may come up throughout the lifelong adoption journey. Some stressors are the same types of challenges that all families, biological and adoptive, may face. However, there are potential stressors unique to adoption. The most common issues include identity issues, specifically where they came from and their culture, and also behavioral issues. And as if the stress of going through adoption internationally wasn't enough, in the midst of their long adoption process, Thomas and Lauren found out that they were pregnant with their own biological baby. Now, there's a common question that seems to arise after adopting a child and having a biological baby. Will I love my adopted child as much as I love my biological child? To see how this so-called kin selection theory might apply to adoptive parents, some researchers compared data on 135 pairs of virtual twins, siblings about the same age consisting of either one adopted and one biological child or two adopted children. In general, parents did not favor a biological child over an adopted one in all instances. The team reports in an online evolution in human behavior, although parents did rate their adoptive children higher in negative traits and behaviors like arrogance and stealing, they scored both adopted and biological children similarly when it came to positive traits like conscientious and persistence. Researchers argue creating conditions where the strong desire to be a parent, no matter the source of a child's genes, can override evolved kin selection behaviors that might otherwise lead parents to invest more time and resources in their own offsprings. Having children is a huge stepping stone in anyone's life. And not only is Thomas Rhett continuing to develop himself in his career and his marriage, but now is also responsible for raising 2 children. Growing up with celebrity father definitely shaped Thomas Rhett's life and influenced his career choice. Thomas admits he wouldn't have gotten where he is today without the support of his wife Lauren. And even though in just a short amount of time the two have gone through incredible life changes, Thomas admits that he wouldn't have wanted it to be any other way. The couple worked hard to adopt Willa from Uganda, and they struggled to conceive little Ada. All while Thomas Rhett recording his new album Life Changes, a pretty ironic title for the circumstances. These were just some of the few developmental stages of Thomas Rhett's life. And surely there are more to come, because as we are aware, we continue to develop throughout our whole lifespan. And hopefully Thomas Rhett will continue to do so as a very happy man.